crucial drops. He had a touchdown, Skip, that he dropped. Had a ball across the middle, which he dropped. This is why they brought Odell in.
The Rams last night had 5 drops.
And when would it happen? Third down.
Okay, 5 drops. It's more of the Odell effect because all of a sudden, well, he comes in and everybody's on high alert, like we gotta, and everybody presses. Like Odell's there, and all of a sudden everything gets ramped up. The expectations for the Cleveland Browns went through the ceiling when Odell arrived, right? It's going to be Odell and Jarvis. Let's see where it goes. Well, the quarterback keeps forcing the ball to Odell, and it's hard on everybody because everybody's disjointed. Everybody's out of sync. Everybody's out of rhythm.
So Higbee had that pick 6 drop because of
that
Odell.
was his fault.
That was Odell's fault?
No, it was Higbee's fault.
Okay, what about
that was not Matt Stafford's fault.
Exactly. So what about that third down that Higbee dropped?
They were all completely out of sync.
Yes.
Sometimes it happens. Odell's presence is so huge. He's such a superstar. Well, you talk to him, and all I hear about is Randy Moss had intimate conversations with Odell, helping him choose. Shannon Sharp talked to Odell.
I didn't have him choose.
Not help him choose, but you talked to him. Lil Wayne talked to him and was trying to counsel him on where should he go, trying to talk him into Green Bay or over New Orleans. So we're going, he talks to everyone. He is famous for being famous, but not for his recent productivity because he's had 3 surgeries in the last 4 years.
Well, I'm not here to debate that. Clearly, the last 3 years, Odell hadn't been like the first 3 years, and his productivity has steadily declined, and he understands that in order for him to be thought of as one of these elite-level receivers again, he's going to have to get elite-level production. You can't talk about it. You can't hope about it. And he's in a situation that I think, once he has a better grasp of the system and what is expected of him, they're going to ask a lot. Skip, if you notice, Odell is a mainly outside the numbers guy. Very seldom did they line Robert Woods up outside the numbers. Robert Woods is between the numbers guy.
Nope.
He and Cooper Kupp do most of their damage between the numbers.
He's not Debo physical, but Robert Woods was very physical.
Debo's a different Debo.
And Robert Woods could be used to run the football as deep. And I loved what your man Kyle Shanahan did to start the game last night. He just lined up Debo in the backfield and said, "I'm going to run him down your throat," because he's hard to tackle when he gets going downhill.
Yes, and Mitchell, look at Mitchell.
Yeah.
He was running the ball hard.
Elijah Mitchell, he can run. Yep. He ran 4.3 coming out of college, and he weighs 200 pounds, and he runs with impact.
Right.
Okay? So Kyle Shanahan says, you know what we're going to do? We're going to come out and we're going to bully you. Well, it's hard for me to fathom how that you're going to bully a defense that has the best defensive lineman you've ever seen, Aaron Donald, and one of the best pass rushers, if not the best you've ever seen, in Von Miller, now added. So you have those 2 guys in the Rams front, and Kyle Shanahan says, I don't care. His goal was to rush it at least 40 times. And he said after the game, I had some misgivings about the goal because after I stated it to the team, I started thinking, it's hard to run the ball 40 times, and they ran it 44 times.
I think the thing, Skip, what happened is that if you look at the Rams, they have pass rushers. And pass rushers, they play the run on the way to the quarterback.
Okay, well, that's not a great way to play.
That's not a great, but Skip, anytime you find, normally when you find teams that can rush the quarterback, they give up something because you have to anticipate the snap and you have to try to get on the edge of an offensive lineman. Well, if you pick a side and it's the wrong side, now you see a couple of times they trapped them in the backfield. They guess right. But what happens when you guess wrong? That's a 15-yard crease.
So it wasn't like they got run off the field because the 49ers only averaged 3.5 a pop. Because 156 is not that bad. My Cowboys just a week ago gave up 190 to the Denver Broncos at home. So 156 isn't like
it's not a 200
death sentence in a game, right? But 44 carries is so many carries. Look at the time of possession last night. 39 minutes to only 21 minutes.
But Skip, look at the plays. It's not like they ran. Normally when you have the ball this long, you run 80 plays. Look, they only ran, Skip, look how many plays they ran. They didn't run a whole bunch of plays.
Nope.
They only ran 64 plays, which is an average. Average means you also only have the ball around 30 minutes, 32 minutes. They had the ball almost 40 minutes and still only ran 10 more plays. But that first drive, 18 plays, whoop, touchdown. Then you get a pick, 6. 14-0. And then you come right back and get another 11-play drive.
And you go 8 of 14 on third down, and you go 1 of 2 on fourth down, while they're going 3 of 10 on third and 0 of 2 on fourth down. And by the way, Hollywood Sean threw a little trick play at San Francisco. Could we please see that at the end of the half? Because this was the death knell.
Right.
This is the one that ended their night. This is 4th and 7, so it's a long way to go to get 7 yards down at the 17. You could have had a field goal. You could have felt a little better about what you were doing going into halftime, and instead you get 0 points, and that was the end of that night.
But see, Skip, that's what happens when you're in those special teams meetings. Look how they play it. 47 takes the wing guy, 93 scrapes over the top, boom.
Yep. So this brings us to the quarterback play. Jimmy G was really good last night because he was really efficient, because he was 15 of 19 for just 182, but it was every pass he completed was huge,
right,
because it moved the chains.
Because guess what, Skip? He just throwing the ball. He's throwing the ball to Kelsey right there from me to you.
The one Kittle,
the Kittle, and the Debo. Debo was a 5-yard route that he took it 40 yards.
Yeah, the one throw to Debo that he broke loose, it was a good throw because it was fairly covered. But he had to throw it through.
He had a couple of those that the linebacker was right there, and as soon as Debo showed, the ball was right there. And then Debo is doing what Debo does after the catch. Okay. That's how he got the name Debo.
I got it. Did Jimmy G turn it over last night?
No.
0 times.
No.
Did Matt Stafford? Yes, he did.
Twice.
Now I'm back to my Matt Stafford point to you. I just don't completely trust him. Obviously, he is an excellent, he's one of the best throwers of the football we've ever seen. He's up there in the Aaron Rodgers category. He's up there in the Dan Marino, John Elway category as far as spinning the football.
He can spin it.
Okay.
He can do that.
And he's got all kinds of arm talent, but he's never been here and done any of this before. He's 0-3 in the playoffs. In Detroit, 7 of his 9 seasons, he had Megatron. So it's not like he's never had somebody. But remember the stat that I gave you. Against teams that finished the year as a winning football team, he's 7-90. 7-90 in his career, so he doesn't have much, if any, experience beating good teams in big moments.
He doesn't have a whole lot to show for all that talent that he possesses in that arm.
That is correct. So 0-3 in the playoffs, and now a big Monday night game comes up. Well, heck, let's go back to the Tennessee game, which was a big Sunday night game. So you're on 2 big stages that you've never really been on before with that kind of buzz, that kind of attention, focus, expectation. All of a sudden, you start to come apart a little bit. And I'm not saying he played miserable, but he's made some huge mistakes.
But the mistakes, but here's the thing, Skip. Yeah, he might play okay after the fact, but the damage is done. You can't turn it over. And this is back-to-back weeks. He throws an interception. The guy runs it to the 2-yard line, touchdown. He throws an interception. They run it all the way back for a pick 6. That's 14 points that you gave up in 2 weeks, and guess what you just did? You just gave up another 14 points in this situation. His defense couldn't get off the field last night. And that was the thing. I was surprised. I was like, okay, you can say, well, that's a long punt. Skip, I mean, the guy picked the ball off. You had the 3-yard line. You're like, okay, our defense, we got Bond, we got Ramsey, we got Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd. We got a nice little squad. We hold them. Maybe they get a first down or 2, punt the ball right back to us. We right in business. But 11 minutes and 30-plus seconds later, they got the ball in the end zone at third down, after third down, after third down, after third down conversion. This is why and I told you, Skip, Jimmy G can be effective if you run the ball like that and you ask him to do very little. Skip, he didn't throw the ball 20 times. There's not going to be very many times that you win a ball game in the NFL when your quarterback only throws the ball 20 times.
Unless you're 15 of 19 and you're running the football and controlling the clock.
Well, if you get 44 rush attempts, sure.
Okay, he showed you what he thought of Jimmy G last night. I got to keep him in his little box. And if he'll stay in his little box and make the throws that we need to make, which he did. He was really good last night. I don't care what you say. He didn't just game manage. He made some big third down throws.
Right.
So the point is, Matt Stafford's Hollywood. He's box office. I get that. Vaughn is box office. Aaron Donald and Jalen, they're box office. Can you win big with them as an NBA-style super team with Odell as the cherry on top? Does Odell have enough left? After he's been so battered, he's suffered so many injuries, he's been through so much of an emotional roller coaster, out of New York, into Cleveland, all of a sudden to the Rams. Can he save this team? I don't think so. I'm just not sure it's going to live up to its billing. It'll sell. It's must-see TV.
Right.
But is it for real? Is it a mirage? Is it more of a Hollywood facade than a super team? I'm going to say facade.
Well, I just think the thing is that let's give them the bye week. Let's get Bond integrated.
Then guess where they got to come back to? They got to go to Green Bay. Okay, so you better be ready.
Yeah.
Because obviously their defense is going to get healthier, as you keep pointing out.
Yes.
And as they get healthier, that's going to be a test at Lambeau.
It's going to be colder, too.
And it's going to be cold, and it just might be flurrying.
Well, you know what? I might go on, what you call them? I might go to take my bye week. I might go spend it in New York, get my body acclimated to the cold weather.
Maybe.
Because it's going to be really cold in Green Bay.
Ugh, man.
But look, Skip, it's one game with a 2 games in which the Rams have not played. Now, we've seen the Rams play their best. We've seen them play their worst. What's concerning, Skip, is that 2 of the 3 games, they got whitewashed. They got ramshackled. We saw them against Arizona. Arizona ran the ball down their throats. We see San Francisco. They ran the ball down their throats. Now, you putting out I don't want to sound like Coach Fangio, but you're putting out the blueprint of how to beat you.
Yeah, although Tennessee didn't have their big horse, right?
Right. They didn't run the foot. You know, they ran the ball well enough. But Arizona and 49ers, they did a job on you. And the game wasn't close, Skip. I mean, 31-10, it wasn't close.
They bullied them.
They did.
Yep.
They did.
Well, the Rams weren't the only LA team to take an L last night. Did you have some visitors, Shannon? We'll break down the Lakers' big loss to the Bulls. Plus, does Dak Prescott or